Alright, what's up guys? So my previous eclipse video I did, there were some comments about how I didn't emphasize on each individual sun sign or ascendant sign and how they were affected by the eclipse. That would be because it was a solar eclipse and it was only specified to certain geographical areas, therefore only affecting certain parameters. The lunar eclipse that just happened yesterday, the 23rd of March, can now be attributed to every sign. Therefore, I'm going to actually go over the dynamic that I emphasize on with this eclipse, and then I will go ahead and review over each sun sign, and if you want to apply the same concept to an ascendant sign as well, that works too. My best suggestion is if you are, say you're a Scorpio sun with a Gemini ascendant, look at the Scorpio reference and look at the Gemini one, because a lot of times they're infused together. So a lot of astrologers focus primarily on where the moon is occupying for the focal of the eclipse effect. And I like to point out that there's a couple different factors involved. So in a natal chart, you wouldn't necessarily just look at where the moon is placed to determine how it functions. You would be looking at the aspects or polarities along with it, because those could change the flavor and they could change the mode of said moon. So looking at the polarity, which would be where the Sun, Mercury, and Uranus are, is a crucial part of this puzzle. And because we continue to have this T-square, it was happening earlier this year and part of last year, with Lilith, Pluto, and whichever other planet on the other side wanted to be involved, particularly Uranus with other personal planets, we were experiencing this T-squared, and because generational planets are involved, it's going to take some time for all the manifestations and energy to play out. So when we're looking at this, we want to, instead of just worrying about the moon, and you need to acknowledge that you've been fixated on the house that has the Sun, Uranus, and Mercury in it. And then you need to acknowledge any kind of potential progress, changes, or transformations that have been going on in the houses occupied by Pluto. And then trying to, reflecting a little bit, because again, we're going to have a retrograde going with Mars soon, as well as Pluto, which gives you plenty of time to brainstorm and reflect instead of act out on things. So you want to see how you can utilize said changes or transitions to resolve potential challenges in the house that the moon occupies. And if you notice that also we have Lilith sitting in that house as well, if you unfortunately are unable to balance the priorities of the house where the Sun is currently in, as well as the moon, you will end up having to deal with the negative repercussions of being potentially unbalanced, and any issues that Lilith in Libra in that particular house has been bringing you will continue to manifest and become magnified if you don't resolve it. So this is going to be your challenge for the rest of this year going into 2017. Alright, so I got all the lingo out, and now you know how the energy is going to be manifesting with this lunar eclipse. So now I'm going to do part 2 of this video and go ahead and give you details about how it will be affecting each sun and ascendant sign.